What's the best RFP software? I don't know how many times I've seen this question or some version of it asked on various LinkedIn forums and posts. Or I might get asked something like, I need to use AI for proposals. What do you recommend? The answer in both cases is actually deceptively simple, but it also opens a world of deeper, more challenging questions we need to ask and answer. So here's the answer. It depends. It depends on your organization, your process, depends on your challenges, depends on the level of chaos, and it depends on the goals that you're trying to achieve. But that requires some really deep thinking about the underlying problems that are hurting your proposal quality, your people, your well-being, and your relationship with the rest of the organization. It's not just about the particular flavor of RFP induced existential dread you're feeling with this month. But I am here with good news because you can get to the right answer for you, by first understanding the solvable needs sitting beneath the daily pain points of your bid team. But when I ask people what are those underlying needs, I find they often don't know or they can't explain them. This video isn't a demo, and I'm not going to talk about features, and I'm definitely not going to blindly recommend a solution. This is about helping you get some clarity, helping you think about and understand some common needs that shape RFP software decisions. So here's 10 underlying needs for RFP software. Let's delve into it. Need one. Every bid professional knows the pain of rummaging through multiple SharePoint sites, unpicking ancient email chains, and trying to remember in which old proposal you kinda, sorta, maybe answered something similar. The truth is out there, but which X file store is it stored in? See what I did there? If this sounds like you, if this is where you waste too much effort and introduce far too many errors, then your first underlying need is simple. It's to quickly and easily find the best possible, up to date, accurate, and most persuasive information when writing proposals and answering RFPs. And if you're thinking, but AI, let's just generate the right answers. Remember, AI needs to reference your best possible, up to date, accurate, and most persuasive information too. And speaking of finding the best and most interesting content, please take a moment now just to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's just a couple of clicks, but when you're starting up a brand new channel, it really helps. Thank you. Need to. We can't get away from deadlines in bidding. We all feel we could do with more time. But a note of caution here. A fast first draft isn't about shortcuts. No one wins bids because of how quickly they produced a first draft. We win when we submit a better final draft. That means it's not about merely assembling a proposal faster, but helping the team achieve something greater. If you feel the need for speed, I urge you to look a little bit deeper. Is that really the underlying problem? Or is the lack of time a symptom of something else? Because if you try to speed up time to first draft without fixing broken processes, without good source content, without supporting your people, you don't really solve anything. you'll just break things faster. So if your underlying need is about reducing blank page moments, freeing up time for strategy and storytelling, or building consistency across different contributors, then perhaps you really do need to produce a better, structured, relevant, and high quality first draft more easily. Need three. Bids are a team sport. Very often, proposal professionals are the manager, the goalkeeper, the midfield maestro, and the superstar striker. We set the strategy and organize the team. We catch mistakes and risks. We distribute and coordinate our attack. And in the end, our goal is to submit a high scoring proposal. I used to enjoy taking a really complex RFP and breaking it down into understandable and useful components. But the larger the RFP, the more difficult it is to keep track of all of the separate pieces. As bid managers, we need clarity of scope for ourselves and the bid team. We need to separate and allocate questions to different subject matter experts. And we need to try and keep things simple, traceable, and cohesive. So if tracking spreadsheets are getting out of hand and you've lost control of the version control, then maybe this is your need to manage complex, messy, multi-document RFPs by organizing, managing, and tracking all of the components. Need for. This is a big one for me, and I have more videos on the way specifically addressing the problem of collaborating with SMEs. Even as a technology advocate, I firmly believe collaboration is a human problem needing a human solution. But the admin, we can automate that. I'm talking about keeping stakeholders informed, keeping the project on track, maintaining accountability, and running the background process. Bid managers, we want to add value, but sometimes we spend far too much time just rescheduling meetings, sending ever less gentle reminders, and playing that game of SME whack-a-mole. If only we could reduce the repetitive admin and ensure the right people are engaged on the right things at the right time. That's need for. Need five. RFPs are simple, really. There's a set number of instructions, requirements, and questions to complete. There's an unforgiving deadline. Simple, yet often stressful and chaotic. Visibility and control it's not about micromanagement. It's about planning with confidence, predicting danger, leading with calmness, and maybe even getting our evenings and weekends back. This need is knowing the real-time status of the response at all times so we can manage risk, anticipate delays, and avoid last-minute panic. Need six. Work today is hybrid, remote, global, always on, and because of those things, very often asynchronous. Proposal war rooms are now virtual. Complex answers need multi-contributor responses. And our participants need to co-write, peer review, and we edit by committee. But the problem is when collaboration breaks down, then quality is easily lost. We need to keep the collective brain of our organization functioning smoothly, minimal bottlenecks, with consistent messaging, and all using one voice. There's an underlying need here to help multiple global contributors work together efficiently without overwriting each other, duplicating effort, or battling version conflicts. Need 7. Very few organizations are static. Many will have ambitious growth plans. Some are dynamic and ever changing. It's part of the nature of their organization. There are organizations with proposal centers of one and other organizations with large extended bid teams. Some organizations need tools able to scale to handle many more users than they started with, more content, and ever more bids. But some just need the flexibility to scale up and down in tune with seasonal or even erratic cycles of bid activity. And others may be thinking about scalability in terms of global bids and languages and global teams. Whatever these changes might be, there's a common need here, which is to ensure the approach to RFP responses can scale in volume, adapt to complexity, and cover different geographies without falling apart. This need is really all about future proofing because the decision you make today about your software shouldn't halt your plans for the future. Need 8. Uh, I know this one is particularly crucial for regulated sectors, a lot of enterprise environments, and teams where IT really are the gatekeepers. But everyone using tools within their business needs to feel confident in data protection, access control, auditability, uptime, and meeting their legal obligations. This is less glamorous than other needs, but it's still absolutely fundamental. We need to be able to work securely, reliably, and in compliance with organizational policies without disruption or too much risk. Address these needs up front, or you risk problems later on. They could delay your implementation or even break the trust between you and your partners or your customers. Need 9. RFPs are not isolated events. They sit within a wider sales cycle. Bidding is a team sport, but we don't just need to be connected within the team. We need all of the wisdom and insight available from the pursuit before the proposal phase, and we need to pass on all of that wisdom into project delivery and ongoing support. The extent to which you might need interconnected systems will depend on your organization, depends on your processes and your existing tech stack. But there's always some level of underlying need to eliminate duplication of effort and ensure data flows seamlessly across systems and teams. We might be thinking of introducing technology to help with efficiency and accuracy, but disconnected systems create disconnected teams. Need 10. I, I believe this is the most ignored and underrated need of all. Bid teams are perfectly placed to deliver and benefit from strategic business intelligence. To complete our bids, we collect huge amounts of data from the RFP, from our bid no bid process, from other bid team members, from contributors around the organization, from our business and product content and data, from the reviews we arrange and conduct to our win-loss reports. We really understand how the organization thinks it works and how it actually works. But it's often temporary. We move on to the next bid, and the opportunity to feed back into business improvement can be lost. So there's an opportunity, a need here to use our new software to collect and use data to optimize our content, our processes, the outcome of the bid, and the outcome of our delivery as well. This is where the proposal function shifts from just being reactive to truly being strategic, from producing documents to producing insights. So what's the best RFP software? Like I said, it depends. It depends on the underlying needs you are trying to meet. Understanding those needs is the real starting point. It's worth taking the time to reflect on your unique needs and the ones that matter most to you, to your team, and the way you want to work. Once you're clear on them, then matching those needs to the right capabilities becomes infinitely easier. And that's what I'm going to be exploring in my next video. If you found this video useful, please do like and subscribe. It helps you stay informed about new content, and it helps me develop the channel with even more interesting content for you. Thank you.